Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official kickoff of the 70th Annual Maine Lobster Festival. First of all, I'd like to take a moment to thank Connie Russell and the great staff here at the Samoset for this wonderful evening. And I'd like to say thank you as well to our coronation judges, Shirlene Gosline, Molly Luce, Hope Billingsley, Ruth Starr, and Tom Malloy. And I'd also like to give a word of thanks for Gordon Page, who will be this year's Master of Ceremonies. And last but not least, I'd like to give a big thanks to our coronation committee, Melissa Burgess, Peyton Feener, Winona Harvey, Kelly Leidenroth, Jill Sullivan, Roberta Wentworth, and of course our chair, Sharon Lombardo. 70 years ago in 1947, Harry S. Truman was the president of the 48 United States because Hawaii and Alaska were still territories at that point. Horace Hildreth was the governor of Maine. I had to look that one up. The minimum wage was 40 cents an hour. A loaf of bread cost 13 cents. A gallon of milk cost 15 cents. And a gallon of gas cost 15 cents. There were 44,000 televisions in the entire United States, and there were 40 million radios. Rockland had a population of 8,782 people, which is actually higher than our current population, which is 7,297 right now. And according to the 1947 Rockland Directory, Rockland was the greatest lobster-producing center in the United States. In fact, we had so many that they were fed to the prisoners at the state prison in Warren in the summer because the shedders were impossible to process, and they were such a huge challenge back then. So it was decided that something needed to be done to help the lobstermen, as well provide a day of community fun. And so from that start, the Maine Lobster Festival was born. We begin as a one-day local event, all you could eat for $1, to a 5-day event that welcomes tens of thousands of visitors from all over the world. And while we have grown in size, our mission remains the same, to support our lobstering families, to promote the industry, and to give back to our community. And these 14 young women behind me here on the stage are part of that history and part of that legacy. And while lots of things have changed over the years, one of the constants of the Lobster Festival is the coronation of the Maine Sea Goddess. And one of you seated here behind me will be the 70th Maine Sea Goddess. And so I want to wish them all the very, very best of luck tonight. Enjoy every bit of this experience. Be yourselves and try not to be too nervous. Just remember, while it's all dressy tonight, tomorrow we'll be mucking out garbage cans and painting the stage, because it's all part of the festival magic. And so before I go, I do want to say one final thank you to everyone in this room here tonight, to the friends and the families who are supporting these girls, to our community, to our volunteers, to our festival members and our directors. I thank you so much for all your hard work. Happy 70th, because I know this is going to be a fantastic year. Thank you.
All right. I was going to introduce my coronation committee, and they do deserve to be named twice because we could not have put this whole affair on without my committee. Okay. Melissa Ann Burgess, Peyton Feener, Winona Harvey, Kelly Leidenroth, Jill Sullivan, and Bobby Wentworth. Girls, waitresses, ladies, in black. Are you still bringing things out?
We're going to fill the shapers right now.
Okay, you want me to keep talking then? Gotcha. What's going on now? We could not pull off this coronation without a tremendous amount of help. Okay? We go on a lot of tours. If you go online to Shoot Maine or rockycoastnews.com. Okay? These are our photographers, Doug and David, and I'm all off right now. They absolutely photograph everything that we do, okay? And this year, our Atwood's tour, it is all online and on YouTube, so it is seen all over the nation and the world. Okay. Atwood's Lobsters, Berry Shepherd, Beans Lobsters, Bixby Bars, Brio Promotions for doing all of the girls' sashes, By George Jewelers, who has donated the crowns every single year. And we really appreciate it. They get to take they don't get the Ferrari one, that's just Wednesday night, but they do get their crowns to keep after. Domino's Pizza, the Farnsworth Museum, who is celebrating Andrew Wyatt's 100th birthday. Fantastic tour. I encourage everyone to go. The ISR Hanover Lobster Boat Insurance Program, Knox Center for Long-Term Care, who for 8 of my 9 years has given us their facility for the all-day-long banquet. The judges interview the girls one-on-one. So we have a lobster lunch that's provided by Atwood's that day, and they make their own bouquets. We play games and have a craft. Okay, the law office of Jimmy Brennan, who saves our life every year. The judges, when they're done tonight, they have the weekend to compile all of their answers, and they will turn their books into Jimmy Brennan's office. And I have to say thank you to Nina, because she's the one that does the work. And so they're the ones that tally everything to find out who our next sea goddess, crown princess, and Miss Congeniality are. Loose Transportation, who is at my beck and call. Where are you, Molly? Molly. At my beck and call. They transport our girls anywhere we need them to go, even at the very last minute. Maine Coast Wedding and Special Events, who have provided our gowns for the last 9 years at a tremendous discount. They've just been absolutely wonderful to us. The Maine Lighthouse Museum, Maine State Prison Industries. You gotta come down to the grounds. You don't know what we got this year. They went and made us a trap. I wanted one that people could crawl in and over and everything, and the kids could play in it. Bobby, how big is this? 17 and a half feet long, 9 and a half feet high, and it's wide. 10 feet wide. And you can't go over it because it's made out of pine, but you sure can't go in it. And they made us some standees too. Mass AV, this is our fault. We slipped up this year. Usually you see all the girls' tours and everything on the screen, and we got lost in the translation. The Rockland Coast Guard Base, Coast Guard Cutter Thunder Bay, and Coast Guard Cutter Tackle. They give us a tour and explain everything the Coast Guard does to us, but they also got us on 2 of their ships this year. Very nice. Samoset Resort. Don't know what I would do without Connie and Steve. Seacoast Scaffold and Equipment. Seasons Down East Designs. For 10 years, she has made our most beautiful wreath for the memorial service, Night of Coronation. And it stays as fresh as a daisy for the whole 5 days, and is beautiful at the end of the week when it goes overboard, when we close down, as it is the day it gets received. Skin Clinic and Day Spa. Sue Kelly, one of our past sea goddesses, does all the girls' makeups for them the day of the coronation. Sonia Salon does their hair. Somebody Loves Me Bridal. This is Betty Shannon, and she does all our alterations for the girls' dresses. Trackside Station Restaurant, that's where we'll have a private for the girls only banquet on Wednesday night. And Walmart, thank goodness for Walmart. They give me all the flowers, the ribbons, anything I ask them for. Okay, now, Shoot Maine and Rocky Coast News, Doug and David Mills, okay? Well, they're not only online, but I want to show you this book. This is last year's book, and it is all the girls' tours and everywhere we go, everything we do, and it's like a memory book for them. And Doug and David is making it available this year to everyone at $15 a copy, and they have to be paid for before they're ordered, so we don't end up with a whole bunch left over. So, if you want to take a look at this, or you want one of your daughter, niece, first, your oldest granddaughter, or whatever, please help yourself and thumb through this at a later time. Are you ready? Okay. Now, I'd like to introduce our judges, and I'm going to give a short bio on them. And I have to say, Shirlene has a fabulous husband that just loves her so much that her bio was that long. So Shirlene, I've had to shorten it a bit, and I hope I'm getting my key points, okay? Shirlene Heath Hoke Gosling, okay? Her life's work as a high school teacher for school departments of the Mid-Coast and Gardner area. Shirlene's community activities have included, but are not limited to, Chair of the Maine State Museum Commission, President of the Kennebec Valley Gardens Club, the Board of Directors of the National Garden Club Federation of America, a hospice volunteer, and many others, too many to mention. With her late first husband, Bill Hoke, had a family of 3 children, Hoke children, and wife of Norman Gosling for the past 40 plus years, and second mother to 3 of Gosling children. Stand up, Shirley. She's also our 1957 Sea Goddess. It wouldn't be our night tonight if I didn't forget somebody. I'd like to introduce our 1992 Crown Princess, Daphne Marina Ripley. And she's the mother of Shannon Ripley, one of our sea princesses this evening. Had to keep up a tradition, didn't we? Go back this way. Our next judge is our entertainer. This is Miss Molly Luce. Is a local girl who loves her community. I have been married over 20 years, and I have a 16-year-old son, Sam, who is the joy of my life. My husband and I have owned a successful transportation company for over 20 years. Children are my heart and soul. Serving children in Maine is my privilege. Being a role model to young women is important to me. The sky is the limit. You can do anything you want to do. Our next judge is, she's also our 2015 Crown Princess's mother, Hope Billingsley. It's a certified, but you didn't know all of this. She is a certified Miss America preliminary pageant judge. Hope has judged numerous pageants throughout the country. She is also a former contestant. Being a native of Tennessee and a graduate of Mississippi State University, she grew up thinking pageants were a way of life. Hope has coached many young women, preparing them for pageant competition. Her hope is that each Sea Goddess contestant has a fun-filled experience and makes many lasting memories. Hope Billingsley. Our next judge is Ruth Woodbury Starr, is the general manager of 250 Maine Hotel in London. She attended Proctor Academy and New Hampshire College, where she studied anthropology. A Maine native, she began working in hospitality when she was just 16. She enjoys introducing people to the Rockland area and sharing its rich culture. She also loves working with animals. She has volunteered extensively in animal rescue organizations, including the MSSPA and Knox Pope Maine. I don't know what those letters mean. She grew up watching the Sea Goddess Coronation every year and is thrilled to know the princesses of 2017. Miss Ruth Woodbury Scott. You're going to get a kick out of this one. You've heard the ladies, right? Our next judge is Tom Malloy. He's a native of Rockland, a retired educator, and a former mayor of Rockland. That's short and sweet. Rules. The 2016 Sea Goddess Adriana Ames, Miss Adriana, is our timekeeper. The judges will rotate and have 3 minutes to question each princess. If the timer rings before the judge has finished asking the question, the princess does not need to answer, but can if she wishes. If the timer rings while she's answering, she needs to finish the answer. Okay, let's get started.
What are some of the challenges and fishing issues lobstermen are facing today?
Well, one of their biggest issues would probably be how processing plants are located in Canada, and if lobsters are sent to Canada to be processed, they can be labeled as Canadian lobsters instead of Maine lobsters, even though they come from here. Another big issue would be fuel and bait costs. Those are big parts of being a lobsterman. Bait is key, so you have to be able to afford it to be able to keep lobsters coming in.
Thank you.
Hi, Sydney.
Hi.
Okay, what is the Blackbird building and who was the last person to purchase it?
The Blackbird building is Three Crow Restaurant. I'm unsure of who owns it.
Hi, Sydney. Can you tell me what part of the Farnsworth Museum is located in Cushing, Maine?
The Olson House, which is in the picture of Christina's World, where she's laying in the field looking at the house, and it's a great, amazing, very famous painting.
Thank you.
Hi, Sydney. You have a long legacy in your family of women being a part of this pageant. How is that affecting you coming into the pageant, and what does that mean to you?
It means they're going to be proud of me no matter what happens. It's a part of the family, so it's tradition. You have to keep it going. You can't skip a generation. My cousin was the winner in 2010, and I wish she could have been here, but she'll be here for Coronation night, and that means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Sydney, can you tell me what Maine's largest industry is?
Tourism.
Not fishing?
Well, fishing is definitely one of the major parts of our community. Lobstermen are extremely hard workers, and they bring in a lot for our area, but so do tourists, especially with the Lobster Festival, which brings in millions of dollars for the week before and week after and week during.
Thank you.
Did I hear that?
Well, 3 seconds.
Whether or not you win, what has been your greatest learning experience from this event?
Definitely, I felt like I've learned so much about our community, so much that I never realized that I was missing out before. I'm going to New Hampshire for school, and I feel like spending this last month learning about everything that I've missed out on has been a great experience, and getting to meet new judges in the community, new friends that I graduated this year with, and it's all been a whole new experience for me. Thank you.
Can you hear the judges in the back?
No.
Okay. What I tell the girls is you have to eat the mic. So they really have to be much closer because nobody can hear anything they're asking. Okay. Our second sea princess is Danielle Elizabeth Lee Weaver of St. George. She is a 2017 graduate of Mid-Coast Christian Academy. She's the daughter of Kevin Weaver. Her school activities included student government and devotion teams, hobbies including fishing, reading, volunteering at local church, drawing and four-wheeling. She is the captain of FV Justice, Little Lobsterman. She will be studying business at the University of Maine in Orono, and then on to law school. Danielle sponsors the Capola Salon and Day Spa of Rockland, Broad Cove Market, and Kip's Seafood Company, both of Cushing. Danielle Elizabeth Weaver.
Hi there.
Can anyone help a lobsterman?
That depends on whether or not the lobsterman has a license for that. If they have a Class 2 or Class 3 license, then yes, a person can help them. If they only have a Class 1 license, that only covers them as the lobstermen and no sternmen or third people.
Thank you.
I'm Danielle. Okay, at Atwood Lobster, they told us they had a new building that we toured, and it holds barrels of herring. Do you remember how many barrels that building would hold?
I think it was 1,000 barrels, if I remember right.
Thank you.
Another number question. Do you have any idea how many people attend the Maine Lobster Festival each year?
I do know that it is millions. I do not know how many, though.
Good evening, Danielle. You've grown up working very hard with your father lobstering, and you know a lot about it. You've worked hard to become, I think, a lobster woman. Can you tell me how that happens? How do you get a lobster license, and what's the process?
If you're under 18, then you can do the apprentice program or the student program, which means that you will have to have log sheets that you have filled out about all of your time, kind of like when you do a driver's permit and you have to fill out log sheets. You will have to have it signed by sponsors that you have, which currently hold a lobster license, and then on to Marine Patrol, and then after that they need to be brought to Augusta within 30 days of the last hour that you logged. These log sheets have to be turned in every 250 hours, and also you have to reach 1,000 hours, only 200 of which can be gear hours.
And you did this?
Mm-hmm. It took 5 years for me to do it.
Thank you.
Danielle, how did the lobsterman or lobster woman find their lobster traps, whether it's night or dark or whatever, or snowy or foggy? How do they find them?
One way would be that usually they have very brightly colored buoys, and also if they cannot see themselves how it is, then they will be able to use their charter plotter to be able to find them, or a GPS.
Thank you.
If you were a lobster boat, what would you name it and why?
I have a lobster boat, and I actually, and I named it Justice because one thing that I have always been fascinated by was justice and the legal system, which is the reason why I named that Justice, and also that I'm going to go to law school in about 4 years.
Thank you.
Our third sea princess is Emily Raskella Davis of Rockland. She is a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, where she achieved the status of valedictorian. She is the daughter of Stephen Davis and Karen Raskella. School activities include Boats for Bikes, Vice President of Key Club, National Honor Society, math team, swim team, rowing crew, and track and cross country. Her civic activities included volunteering at soup kitchens, boats and bikes, and various key club projects and events. She enjoys spending time with her family and friends. She is employed by Clan McClown. Her future plans are to study biochemistry with a pre-med track at Bowdoin College. Emily's sponsors are the Free Press of Rockland, St. George Realty, and George's Barbershop of Tennant Harbor. Please welcome Emily Ristella Davis.
Hello. Hi, Emily. Emily, can you tell me who the Farnsworth Art Museum was named after?
The Farnsworth Art Museum was named after Lucy Farnsworth, who had quite a large sum of money in her day. It was opened in 1948 after her will dictated that she wanted to leave her money to open the Farnsworth Art Museum.
Thank you.
Hi, Emily. Where can you go to see the painting Christina's World?
The painting Christina's World is located in the Farnsworth.
Hi, Emily. When we went to the Lighthouse Museum, we met a lot of, we learned about a lot of famous lighthouse keepers. Do you remember who Ellis Small was and what his strange request that he had?
I cannot answer.
Thank you.
Hello, Emily. How are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
As you know, Rockland is rich in maritime history and heritage. What are the three industries that the city is known for or was known for?
The city of Rockland is known for commercial fishing, lime kilns and processing, and shipbuilding.
Thank you.
What do you think is the most important ability that a sea goddess should have?
I think the most important characteristic of a sea goddess is good strength of character, knowing when to do the right thing and being guided by a strong, moral code of conduct and how one should act.
Thank you.
Who started the Lighthouse Museum and in what year?
The Lighthouse Museum was started by, really after Ken Black, who collected lighthouse artifacts sort of over the course of his career. And that was sometime in the sort of late 20th century.
Emily, can you name one location where puffins nest along the mid-coast?
You're an overcomer. We learned that from our interview with you, and you were the valedictorian, correct, of your class.
Yeah.
How do you think that if you become the sea goddess will help, and how would you use that for the community?
I'm very proud of my community and where I live in Rockland, and I would be very proud to be named the sea goddess to represent my community. It would mean a lot to me because I've lived in Rockland my whole life, and I've really enjoyed growing up here and experiencing all the wonderful things that Rockland has to offer. So it would mean a lot to me to be able to represent that and to sort of be a face and ambassador to the Rockland Lobster Festival.
Our next sea princess is Haley Dawn Witham of Thomaston. She is a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School. She's the daughter of Troy and Dawn Witham. Her activities included soccer, track, softball, truckers, musicals, one acts, and liberal arts academy. Hobbies include sports, fishing, hiking, coaching youth soccer clinics, and truckers leadership. She is employed at Yardbird canteen, and also lobsters on the FB Cloud with her dad. Future plans include attending Plymouth State University and graduating with a master's in athletic training and playing college soccer. Haley's sponsors are Brooks Trap Mill and Rock Coast Plumbing and Heating of Thomaston, the FB Cloud of Green Island, and Monhegan Boatman Incorporated of Port Clyde. Haley, Dawn, with them.
Hello, Haley.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. No complaints. That's because I'm sitting here and you're over there. What conservation measures and efforts does Maine have in place to protect the lobsters industry?
Okay. Well, some of them would be the V-notch that you have to put in the lobster's tail if that female lobster is egg-bearing. And if you catch a lobster that does have a V-notch, you can't keep it. You have to throw it back until it no longer has that V-notch. Another one would be trap limits. Lobsterman is only allowed to have 800 traps. Another one would be the escape vents in the lobster traps are for the smaller lobsters to be able to escape. And if the trap is in the water long enough, if say the rope is not on the line anymore and you can't find the trap, after a while, the screws holding onto the escape vent are biodegradable, so all the lobsters will be able to leave the trap without dying.
Oh, thank you very much.
If you were given an amount of money, unlimited amount of money, to make the world a better place, what kinds of project would you do for the Rockland area?
For the Rockland area, I would make sure everybody living in the Rockland area would have a safe home to be in and everybody would be sheltered, because I know there's a lot of people who are homeless and can't go home to a comfortable bed at night and have food. So I'd make sure everybody had food, water, and shelter, first off. I'd also make sure that everybody had an amount of money to be able to get a college education.
Thank you.
How many eggs does a female lobster hold?
Roughly 10,000. And only 10 of them will become an actual lobster that you can catch.
When you go away to college, what will you miss most about Maine and why?
Definitely being right by the ocean. Like any time where I just have any free time before work, any time of the day, I just know I go by the water and just relax, and that's just my happy place. So being in New Hampshire by the White Mountains, they're of course very beautiful, but the ocean's a place that's always going to be home. I'm good, how are you?
Can you give me a 30-second commercial for the Lobster Festival?
Do you like lobster, arts and crafts, and local artwork? Well, I know a place that you can visit. The 70th Annual Lobster Festival here in Rockland, Maine. There you can enjoy many forms of entertainment in all of our tents that are set up for you. And don't forget to miss on Wednesday night the coronation of the sea goddess. Be there.
I'm just going to ask you a simple question. How many people does it take to work on the Lobster Festival each year?
Usually around 1,000 to 1,500.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Ainsley Page Mecklin of Rockland, a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, the daughter of Dana Mecklin and Wendy Mecklin. Her activities included yearbook, key club, field hockey, and National Honor Society. Her hobbies are dancing, ballet, fishing, snowboarding, and weightlifting. She is employed by the Dipnet of Port Clyde and Country Keepers of Owl's Head. She plans to attend Husson University and graduate with a master's degree in occupational therapy and a bachelor's degree in healthcare studies. Ainsley sponsors are Renee Thorpe Johnson of Level 10 Salon in Rockland, Mecklin Construction Company of Rockland, and F.B. Seductive of St. George. Please welcome Ainsley Page Kirkland.
You have toured several places as a sea princess. What is your favorite one and why?
I honestly really enjoyed the Maine Lighthouse Museum. I learned so much. I never knew how many lighthouses there actually were and if they were actually functioning. And we actually learned that many of them are privately owned, and we learned about the different types of lights, the order, which is like if it's a first order, it shines about 22 miles. Like, I mean, it was really a fun-filled tour for me because I learned so much about the different lighthouses and stuff.
Thank you.
Hi, Ainsley. If my family and I were to visit the Mid-Coast for a week, we've never been here, never been to Maine, never been to New England for that matter. Not that I would know anything about ever having done that, but in case, what 3 things would you say we needed to see before our week was up?
Okay, well, to take up a good part of a couple of days, you can visit several of the art museums that we have, even in Rockland. There's so many, and then if you head down the coast a little more, you can go to more art museums down in Fort Clyde. I work down there. There's driving on the way down is like just art museums everywhere and pottery and everything. So I would definitely say go check out some art. Another thing is visit the lighthouses. That was a really fun thing that I learned about, and visiting them is kind of a great experience, especially at sunsets. Beautiful. So that's definitely a good experience. And I would say go visit some local restaurants and stores, try some lobster. But yeah, I'd say stay local and just try things out.
What lighthouse is Abby Burgess famed for tending?
That would be Matinicus Rock Lighthouse. Would you like the story behind it?
Actually, this is a bonus, can you tell me who has a boat named after her?
The U.S. Coast Guard. It's Coast Guard cutter Abby Burgess.
Over the years, the Lobster Festival has given a lot to the community itself. Can you tell me a few things that the Lobster Festival has done for our community?
They've actually given $200,000 to the Maine Lighthouse Museum. They have given countless scholarships and many things actually to the high school, Oceanside. They paved the entire harbor park. They gave $50,000 to the Thomaston Fire Department for a new utility truck. They donated a new ambulance to Rockland as well. They've done countless amounts of things.
Ashlyn Isabel Ames of North Haven, a 2017 graduate of North Haven Community School. She is the daughter of Marshall and Tracy Ames. School activities included student teacher at Laugh and Learn Preschool. That sounds like a great place to have a preschool, doesn't it? Carpentry and welding student in the Diversified Trades course, senior leader in the annual high school expedition to the White Mountains, where they simulated. What'd you do?
Summit. When you summit a mountain, you get to the top.
You can tell I've never done that. Okay. Simulated Mount Washington. Costume designer for one-act play competition, culinary arts student, boys varsity basketball team manager, and EMT student. She is employed at the Calderwood Hall. Her future plans are to attend college at the University of Maine at Farmington, majoring in early childhood education to someday become a preschool teacher. She'll come up with a cute name. She also hopes to travel and gain more experience in travel photography. Ashland sponsors are Calderwood Hall, LLC, Cooper Construction Incorporated, Nebo Lodge Incorporated, the FU, Patricia Lynn, and Larrabee Construction, all of North Haven, Maine. Please welcome Ashley Isabel Ames.
Hello, Ashley. My question to you is, you live on North Haven Island. What's it like, and what do you have to cope with living on an island community?
It's definitely different. Everything, the example I use is usually like grocery shopping. Like, and most of you who live on the mainland, you don't have to plan a full day around it. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna go grocery shopping in half an hour, 20 minutes. You go, you come back, and it's not anything out of the ordinary. For us, there is a small grocery store on island, but most people do their grocery shopping on the mainland, which would mean you take a ferry boat over, which is about an hour and 15 minutes. You come to Rockland, you do your grocery shopping, and then you usually have a few hours until the next boat, and then you have another hour on the ferry ride back. So it's usually a full day process just to get groceries. But yeah, so most things you have to add a little bit extra time and planning into.
Thank you.
If you were a lobsterman, what color would you paint your buoys?
I would paint them pink, bright pink. Anyone who knows me knows that's my favorite color, so probably pink.
Okay, this isn't one of my questions, but something you just said about grocery shopping, I just have to know. Anyone who knows me well knows that I have this thing about food safety. It's got to get in the refrigerator quick. What do you do, like if you buy a gallon of ice cream and you've got hours before you get home? What do you?
Don't usually buy ice cream. That's one of the very few things you'll buy on island if you want it. You don't.
Or like meat or milk?
That usually you can get away with on the ferry if you get it right before you go on to the boat. And I mean, they do, like I said, they have a grocery store out there, so if that's something you want to buy on island, you can.
Okay.
But ice cream, definitely not.
I just haven't seen people walking around with coolers, you know,
Oh,
to
yeah.
go to the grocery store, so I was wondering what you did. Okay.
Thank you, Ashlyn. What are 2 compliments you often get about you?
People like to talk about my dimples, which make me very self-conscious, just because then I smile more and then they look at them even longer. That and usually my hair. I mean, usually I have longer hair than this. This is short for me, so yeah, usually my hair dimples, I guess.
Can you name for me 5 lighthouses in our area?
There is the Rockland Breakwater, the Owl's Head Light, the Marshall Point Light, Matinicus Rock Light, and then Goose Rock Light, which is the one from North Haven.
Thank you.
On our visit to Atwood's, we saw some huge tanks. Could you tell me approximately how many thousands of pounds those tanks hold at Atwood's?
I believe they said 273,000 pounds.
Okay, thank you very much.
Brittany Ashley Brown of Waldeboro, a 2017 graduate of Coastal Christian School, who graduated as valedictorian. She is the daughter of Glenn and Trina Brown. Her school activities included acting, volleyball, and managing sports, and her hobbies are hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, playing volleyball, doing makeup, baking, and attending youth group and small groups. She is employed at the Damascotta Lake Farms and Union True Value. The future plans are to attend 1 year of Bible college at Word of Life Bible Institute in New York, then taking online business classes to become a businesswoman. Brittany's sponsors are KBG Bait and Midcoast Marine Supply, both of Waldoboro, G&S Lobster Company, and Wallace Lobster, both of Friendship. Please welcome Brittany Ashley Graham.
Hello.
Where can you take the Maine Ferry?
You can take it to North Haven, Vinyl Haven, and Matinicus.
Can you name 3 vessels located at the Rockland Coast Guard Station?
From the Coast Guard boats. There is the Tackle, which is the one that goes around and breaks up the ice in the winter. They also have a few, I don't remember the name of them, but they have the ability to stay up afloat all the time in case they have to go rescue someone in the storm. And they also have your regular boats that they go around to check the fishing vessels around to make sure that they're following all of the regulations that they're supposed to.
Before the lobster boats of today, what type of boats did lobstermen use?
I believe that they used to use just anything that they were able to get out on the water with, just to get out there, whether it was a canoe or anything that floated, just so that they could be able to still harvest the lobsters and different fish that Maine has to offer. For years and years, Maine has offered this amazing resource, and it's definitely not been a new thing that we've been harvesting them.
Brittany, when we had our one-on-one with you, you really have a strong faith and you stood up for it. I appreciate that. And I'm wondering, you're going to Bible college. How do you think that if you're crowned sea goddess, that will help you? And what does your faith do for you, for the community?
Well, ever since I have been going to church, it's been quite a while, I have really had a heart for the community, and being in church has been a great opportunity with my youth group and just some of my other Christian friends just to go out and go to Waldoboro and some other local towns' offices and see how we can help and what the needs are there. And I think that's been a great way to get out in the community. And Word of Life in New York is also very, very centered in the community, and they love to just reach around, not just local, but also statewide and nationwide. And I think that's something that it will be a great thing to learn, just taking those additional resources to take back here and be able to reach out instead of just our county, but to our state and ultimately to our nation.
Brittany, what are some of the challenges that are facing the young people of your generation for the future?
I think definitely, and our social media has been getting better on this, but the image that it portrays to the younger people, so many things are photoshopped and so many lies are put out there that our young people don't have the ability to process in a way to know that it's not true. And it has definitely altered the minds of not just the youth, but also teens and adolescents and also adults. So I think that's definitely something that needs to be changed further.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alexis Nicole Mazurek of Rockland, a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, the daughter of Richard and Jennifer Mazurek. Her activities included field hockey, baseball, softball, unified cheering, National Honor Society, STEM, Key Club, and theater. Her hobbies are coaching youth sports, fishing, kayaking, hiking, and traveling. She is employed at the Landon's Restaurant in Rockland. Her future plans are to attend the University of Maine and study business. Alexis's sponsors are Fuller Cadillac, GMC, and the Landon's Restaurant of Rockland. Please welcome Alexis Nicole.
Hello.
Me? Oh. Okay. Hello, Alexis.
Hi, Tom.
My question has to do with what is the legal size of lobsters in Maine?
So, the legal size of lobster that you can catch and harvest is from, you have a measuring tool, and it's measured from the back of the eye socket to the back of the carapace, and the length is 3 3¼ inches is the minimum, and the maximum is 5 inches.
Thank you.
How do you feel that your athletic ability has helped you?
Well, for sure, my athletic ability has, well, first of all, being involved in sports really has just formed me as a person, and definitely I've benefited and I've learned so much from being a teammate, working with other people, just learning, and definitely being a team player for sure has developed me as a person.
When was Atwood Lobster started and by whom?
It was started by Billy Atwood in 1962.
Alexis, if you could be on the cover of any magazine, what would it be and why?
Well, definitely Food Network, because I always find myself when I'm watching TV just to end up on the Food Network. I just get watching it for hours and I just love it.
How long is the Rockland Breakwater and what was it built for?
It is 4,346 feet, or roughly 8/10 of a mile, and it was built back in the day to and it was built to keep the harbor calm. Oh, Tom.
How many body segments are there to a lobster?
3.
Thank you.
Can you name 3 schooners?
I can. The Victory Chimes, Schooner American Eagle, and the Schooner Heritage.
How many pieces of art are in the Farnsworth today?
All right. I know that they started with roughly 50,000, and they have about 100,000 today.
What Midcoast Hotel burned in 1972 and has now been rebuilt?
The Bay Point Hotel is now the Samoset, which we stand in today.
Very good.
Samantha Berry of Spruce Hill, a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, the daughter of Kendall Robinson. Her school activities included Key Club, girls lacrosse, fall musicals, and one-acts. Her hobbies are girls lacrosse, working with kids, and being with family and friends. She is employed at Muscle Ridge Market. Her future plans are to attend Merrimack College for early education. Samantha sponsors the Glen Cove Dental in Rockport, Jake Barber Incorporated in Owl's Head, and Muscle Ridge Market in South Thompson. Please welcome Samantha Berry.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening, Samantha.
Hello.
When we had our one-on-one with you, you are a tremendous reader.
Thank
you. And you told us a little story about a book, and I'd like you to tell us about that favorite book tonight. What is it?
So my favorite book is, the title is The Last of the Really Great Wayne Doodles. My 3rd grade teacher, Miss Calloway, she read it to us, and she told us to just close our eyes and listen to her words. And so that's what we all did. And it just talks, it's about this great book by Julie Andrews. She worked on it with her daughter, which for me was great because, you know, I love things like that. And it really allows you to open up your imagination and take you into this imaginary world with these really vivid descriptions of these really great, odd, weird creatures that allows kids to just break out and think of their own creatures like that.
Hello, Samantha.
Hello.
On our visit to the Farnsworth Museum, Mr. Crossman talked about a famous painting by Andrew Wyatt. Can you tell me the name of that painting that he told us about, which was pretty rare?
Yeah, so Christina's World is a really famous painting that he painted. And it's of this woman, Christina, who is part of the Olsen family, and she is unfortunately disabled, and so she has to sort of crawl herself everywhere she goes. And so in the painting, she's sort of sitting in the field, and she's looking back at her house in this giant field, because she was a strong and independent woman who was like, nope, I'm not going to be carried. I'm going to crawl myself all over the place if I have to. And so that painting he painted, and unfortunately it's not at our Farnsworth Museum. It's in New York. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
So far, what is the happiest experience you've had?
Well, we sort of talked about it on our one-on-ones, and living with my best friend has to be my absolute happiest time. She's more of like a sister, and she's not an only child, but I am. And so not only have I grown closer with my best friend, we've become sisters, and I've gained that, and I will forever have that memory of her and I together. Thank you.
Can you tell us who Abby Burgess was?
Yeah, so Abby was a really great woman. She had to keep the lighthouse burning. Her father and brother, I believe, went out to go and grab some groceries off the island, and unfortunately their ship got into a wreck, and so she had to then a storm came, and it knocked off all the main living quarters, and so they could only live in the part of the lighthouse. And so she moved her mother into the lighthouse, and she kept the light burning for, I believe it was 3 weeks, all by herself. And she kept that going, and it's really great that she was able to do that. Thank you.
Lauren Ashley Hatch of Cushing, a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, the daughter of Joseph and Jolie Hatch. Her activities included soccer and softball. Her hobbies are trekkers, skiing, fishing, coaching, and community service. She's employed by the Mid-Coast Diesel and Miller's Lobster Company. She will be attending the University of New England in the fall, majoring in dental medicine. Lauren's sponsor is Simmons Lobster Wharf Incorporated in Friendship, Maine. Please welcome Lauren Ashley Hatch.
Good evening, Lauren. Hi, how are you? I'm wonderful. Can you tell us the names of 3 communities north of Bangor? Well, you have Howland, and you have Lincoln, and then there's also Hamden, that's around Bangor. I used to live up there, so it's kind of my community. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Who is Connie Small, and what is she famous for?
I'm not sure who Connie Small is.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
How many traps are attached to a single buoy?
One trap is attached to a buoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How often does a lobster shed its shell?
4 to 5 times a year until it's fully grown.
How long is it fully grown?
For about 25 years.
How many traps does a Maine lobsterman usually haul in a day?
Anywhere from 250 to 350 traps a day. What local chef is a 2-time James Beard Award winner, and what restaurant does she own? I'm not sure. All right.
What do you think is the biggest issue facing your generation today?
I think cyberbullying is a really big thing, and especially the way that teens are viewed online. We have a lot of things to look at and a lot of people to look up to, and some of the views online are not very great, and it's very easy to attack somebody personally when you're not face to face.
Lauren, can you tell me how big a lobster's brain is?
Lobsters don't have brains.
Are you looking at me and saying thank you.
Do you think the $2,000 prize should be returned to the festival if the sea goddess is unable to complete her duties?
I think that would be fantastic if that happened. Part of going into this competition is make you know that you're going to have to fulfill duties afterwards. So if you cannot fulfill those duties, I think you should have to return the prize.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I wanted to go to Mohegan Island, how would I get out there?
You can take one of the boats out of Port Clyde.
Hannah Marie Galkowski of Hope is a 2017 graduate of Camden Hills Regional High School, the daughter of Jana Galkowski and Eric Egan. Her hobbies are community service, running, fishing, and skiing. Some of her interests are softball and basketball. She is employed at the Rockport Diner of Rockport. Future plans are to go to college and become a nurse practitioner. Hannah's sponsors are FB Nautilus of Owl's Head and Pals for Living in Rockland. Please welcome Hannah Marie Galkowski.
You guys can buy up real fast. I thought I asked one last question.
What is an escape vent in a trap?
An escape vent in a trap is a little like rectangular thing that's used so that small lobsters that are undersized can get in and out of the trap.
Can you tell me something about Hurricane Island?
Oh, I can't, I'm sorry.
What famous Maine poet wrote, "All I could see from where I stood was 3 long mountains and a wood. I turned and looked the other way and saw 3 islands in a bay."
I don't think I can answer that either.
You're an overcomer, Hannah, and you're a hard worker. If you're crowned the sea goddess, what would you represent, and what would you stand on for representing the lobster industry?
We would I think I would represent this town and the community. The Lobster Festival, most importantly. I think it's a great honor and a great experience to be able to participate in.
How rare is a blue lobster?
A blue lobster, that's pretty rare. Rare?
Have any numbers?
No.
One in so many?
No.
One in many?
One in many.
Good. Thank you.
What does PETA mean, and how has it helped to hurt the lobster industry or the lobster festival?
Oh, they're an organization who doesn't believe in hurting animals. They don't believe in actually even cooking or catching animals. So they are totally against the lobstering industry. They don't believe in the catching of them, the processing, and they think that the boiling and cooking of lobsters is actually painful.
Is it?
I don't think so, but they believe so. They believe that it's harmful.
For the lobstering industry, what conservation efforts does Maine have in place?
We have the V-notching of female lobsters, egg-bearing lobsters. We also have the maximum size of a lobster and the minimum size of a lobster, and biodegradable vents so that lobsters can get out after so long of being in the water. Thank you.
Shannon Lee Ripley of of Owl's Head is a 2017 graduate of Oceanside High School, the daughter of Edward and Daphne Ripley. Activities included sports, Key Club, and National Honor Society. Hobbies included wrestling, field hockey, coaching, pee-wee sports, exercising, and drama club. She is employed at Country Keepers. She plans to attend Husson College for physical therapy. Shannon's sponsors are the Eastern Tire of Rockland, Country Keepers of Owl's Head, Fish Lips of Washington, and Maine Cat of Bremen. Please welcome Shannon Lee Ripley.
Hello. Hi, Shannon. Hi. What's a POW? A POW is a prisoner of war, and we actually got to see it at the Coast Guard base. They have a memorial set up for that.
What does it mean to be a Coast Guard city? And is there one near us?
We are a Coast Guard city. Rockland became a Coast Guard city in 2008. And to be a Coast Guard city is actually a very good honor for us because we know that we have that safety right near us, and it gives us the opportunity, especially as recently graduated students, to get to learn about the Coast Guard.
Oh, Shannon.
Hi.
Why is lobster size limit so important to the industry?
The lobster size limit really helps us to preserve our lobstering industry. Without it, we could be catching undersized lobsters, which we wouldn't actually get a lot of meat from, and that would hurt us, and then they wouldn't be able to grow. And as well as having a maximum size allows those lobsters to be there, especially to reproduce.
Thank you.
Name 3 words that best describe you.
3 words that best describe me. I would say hardworking, very organized, and determined.
Okay, what 3-mast schooner is featured on the back of the Maine state border?
The victory chimes.
How did the Lobster Festival originate?
The Lobster Festival originated in 1947 because we had a tremendous amount of shedders, and shedders aren't good for packaging and traveling, so we couldn't send them out. They were very undesirable. So we started the Maine Lobster Festival as an all-you-can-eat lobster festival for $1.
Where was the first lobster pound and when was it established?
The first lobster pound was in Vinyl Haven in 1875.
On the same thing, what does it mean to fish strings?
To fish strings, it's multiple traps connected on one set of buoys, so you can go and you can pick up 2 to 3 traps in one run.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
What did the Abnakis have a term for Rockland? Can you name it?
I can't name it, but I can tell you it means the Great Landing Place.
Thank you.
With our tour of the Coast Guard, they had a special table set up in the dining hall. Can you tell us about that table?
The special table was the prisoner of war missing in action table, and they had many characteristics to it with representation for why we think so highly among those that have gone missing and that have passed away, because those aren't people we can be there to support and to see anymore. So that was our way of representing those who have been lost.
Kelsey Marie Mill. She's from Hope, is a 2017 graduate of Camden Hills Regional High School, the daughter of Aaron McAvoy and Doug Merrill. Her activities included varsity tennis, student library advisory committee, Camden for Community, tech and running crew, varsity sailing, varsity basketball, LEOS, L-E-O-S, don't know what that stands for either, retirement home enrichment plan, Skills USA, and NTHS. Her hobbies include playing tennis, sailing, volunteering, photography, working, socializing with friends, and going to the beach. She is employed by Quarry Hill and River Ducks Ice Cream. Her future plans are to attend Curry College and become a registered nurse. Kelsey sponsors a River Ducks Ice Cream and Waterfront Restaurant of Camden, All Directions Transport and Hope General Store of Hope, and Graffin Brothers Seafoods of Rockport. Please welcome Kelsey Marie Mill.
Before we start, Leo's is Leadership Experience Opportunity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, according to the U.S. Flag Code, the United States flag should be displayed from sunrise to sunset to show respect. But like many rules, there are exceptions. What must I do to fly my flag during the nighttime hours?
You must have a light on it.
Kelsey, can you tell us who wrote my poem?
I can't. I could guess.
Got a guess?
It sounds like Robert Frost, but I'm not sure.
Can you give me a 30-second commercial?
Hold on. Can I think about this for a second? Okay. Come on down and enjoy some lobster with our lovely ladies right behind me. You can eat at the food tent, eat some lobster, come down and view our art museums of Farnsworth. What else can you do? Go on a cruise on one of the schooners. It's beautiful out in the bay. And come see the sea goddess get crowned on August 2nd.
Hello, Kelsey.
Hello.
Could you tell us, what was your favorite subject in school and why?
That's a tough one. I would definitely say math because I was very strong at math. My grandfather and cousin went very far. My grandfather was a math teacher and he really pushed me to do well in that subject.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How many feet in a fathom?
6.
How many pounds of lobster does Atwood Lobster go through in a year? I'm sorry, not lobster, bait. How many pounds of bait?
Over 1 million?
What is the name of the harbor where Atwood Lobster keeps their facility?
I'm unsure.
You won the President's Award when you were in 8th grade.
Yes.
If you're crowned the Sea Goddess, what do you bring to the table because of that award?
That award showed me that I had a lot of potential and it really pushed me to do well in high school and be a self-advocate. So I think becoming that self-advocate really helps me advocate for my community.
Well, I want to know, what does a lobster eat? Certainly can't order out.
They eat clams, mussels, sea urchins, starfish, fish, and many others.
Thank you.
Margaret Rose Ryan of Warren, a 2017 graduate of Mondavic Valley High School, is the daughter of Terry and Cheryl Ryan. Her school activities included competition cheerleading, tennis, National Honor Society, and student government. Her hobbies are drawing, painting, and baking. She is employed by the Swiftway in Thomaston. Her future plans are to join the AmeriCourse this fall and later attend college to major in nutritional science. Margaret's sponsor is Simmons Lobster Walk Incorporated of Friendship. Please welcome Margaret Rose Ryan.
Hello.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Maggie. When you get to Colorado, what are 2 things you'll tell your friends are completely unique about Maine?
I will tell them about our beaches. Actually, I find our beaches are very unique compared to all the other beaches I have been to. For example, Lucia Beach, Birch Point State Park, has rocks you can lay on. Some people wouldn't consider that a beach, but to us Mainers, we make do. We lay on rocks at beaches.
What do you think the biggest challenge today faces the lobster industry?
A big challenge today, probably bait prices. It's very expensive to keep up with, and if the lobstermen aren't catching lobster and making money, then they can't really afford bait, and how are they going to catch lobster without bait?
Oh, Margaret.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. You're planning on joining an organization called AmeriCorps. Could you explain to me and the audience, what is AmeriCorps?
I always start with the question of, do you know what the Peace Corps is? And everyone's like, oh yes, yeah, I know what the Peace Corps is. And then I go on and tell them it's kind of very similar to that, but within the United States. It's an organization that allows people to go around and volunteer their time, and actually I get paid a little bit of money, but not too much. And I get to devote my time to communities like Rockland, Maine, or Denver, Colorado, and I get to be a part of that. And I get to make them better places, and that's really amazing. AmeriCorps has so many different programs. The one I am doing is called the MCCC, and I will be building houses, working with veterans, working with children, and also working on anything they need us to. Whatever they need my team to do in the community, I will be doing. It's a wide range of things.
But you'll be within the United States?
Yes.
Thank you.
How much time do you have to commit to this?
10 months.
10 months.
10 months, and it is kind of like a 9 to 5 day job. I'll be working, I believe, Monday through Saturday, and I think I'll have Sundays off.
How many lighthouses are located on the coast of Maine today?
I want to say 15. No, 68. Thank you so much.
Aren't y'all glad you're not judges here? I want to thank you very much. We've got some exceptional girls here tonight. They're just, and it's been a fabulous journey getting to tonight. I'd like to thank you all for coming. We hope to see you all Wednesday night, August 1st at the Coronation. And I've got a quick note here. On Wednesday, in celebration of our 70th anniversary, the general admission to the festival will be $1. Not only that, but and it's my night, guys, for $1. That's a bargain. Okay? Not only that, but the carnival will be selling tickets for $1 each, and no ride will take more than 1 or 2 tickets. So please pass this along to anybody you know, small children, or anyone young at heart that likes to do the rides, because it's my understanding this is quite a deal. Okay? I want to thank you very, very much for coming. I've enjoyed the meeting.